Your reasons for listening to this show, well, those are your own. But just keep in mind that the views, information, or opinions expressed on the Tuttle Daily Podcast are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent those of our sponsors. Yeah, it's called free speech, people. Nobody's forcing you to listen.
Get ready for your daily dose of Tuttle.
The all-time greatest intern/producer we've ever had, of course, Tuttle. Tuttle in Florida.
From the Hobo Fish Camp, it's the Tuttle Daily Podcast.
No wonder nobody likes you, Tuttle. Everything's a goddamn debate.
Greetings and welcome to another edition of the Tuttle Daily Podcast. Hope you guys have enjoyed your day so far. Make sure you go to my website, Tuddle.net. That's Tuttle with two D's, Tuddle.net. You'll be able to find every single place. You'll be able to find me online on that website. Yes, I know that I couldn't get Tuddle.com. I wanted way too much money for it. And let's be honest, the only reason that it is worth what it is worth is because of my name alone. I'm not trying to say that I got a big head or anything. Well, I do have a big head. Physically, I have a humongous head. I almost have a size 8 head. But my body is starting to catch up with it. My parents always used to tell me that, oh, your body will grow into your head. No, I used to stay skinny. Then I got fat right after my divorce, and now I'm getting in pretty good shape. Not trying to be vain or anything, but I'm actually starting to look pretty fucking good. The hard work is paying off. Also, if you would like to check me out and would like to interact with me, I want to get the interaction because my studio is not done yet, but I will be able to start taking some live phone calls. I'll be able to do all the good things that most radio stations, radio shows, and big-time podcasts can do. But for at the moment, you can email me, Tuttle@gmail.com, or leave me a voicemail, 407-270-3044. Once again, that is 407-270-3044. Now, something I want to get into, gonna get into some sports right at the beginning of the show. I don't want anybody to think this is gonna turn into the Jim Rome show, but there are some pretty interesting things going on in the sports world. You know, we got Conor McGregor basically snapping his leg in half. I don't understand why anybody ever pays for these pay-per-views. These pay-per-views, they rape the audience. There should be some type of agreement that if the fight really, really sucks, or the fight only goes like a half a round, I mean, it should be prorated. It really, really should be prorated when it comes to that stuff. Like if the match goes the distance, all right, I'm okay with paying full price. Now, if you get a thing where that boxing match between Evander Holyfield and Mike Tyson, where Tyson bites off practically both of his ears and the fight gets stopped, yeah, I want a refund. And then Conor McGregor, I've never understood why they don't make those guys, like in soccer, they make them wear shin pads when they're playing. Have you ever seen some of the kicks that they kick on each other? And I know a lot of you guys are going to call me pussies and stuff like that. So, you know what? Screw the shin guards. Fuck it. Let them break their legs and let it snap it off like Conor McGregor did. Because, and to begin with, why are you kicking another man in the shin? I mean, you're either going to break his leg or you're going to break your leg. Why not go for the knee? So that was a big clusterfuck. Everybody's talking about because Donald Trump ended up showing up to the UFC match. Everybody's making a big deal about Mel Gibson saluting Donald Trump. And I don't know why a lot of people are shocked that a guy like Mel Gibson, who said the N-word over and over, he told his wife at the time, I hope you get raped by a pack of ends. And I hope you know what I mean by ends. He talked about the Jews, about how they are behind all the bad things in the world. He called a police officer sugar tits. So let's not be shocked or surprised that Mel Gibson would have saluted number 45, Donald Trump. So, you know what? I really don't understand why people are shocked about that. Get over it. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the parade that happened here in Tampa. Now, I will say this. The thing about Tampa, lots and lots of water in Tampa. The Hillsborough River runs right next to Amalie Arena, where the Tampa Bay Lightning play. Raymond James Stadium, where the Buccaneers play, is not that far away. So a lot of the parades that they've been doing, especially during COVID, you know, it really doesn't help the fans because the fans are like piled on top of each other. But they, instead of having parades down the street and everything, they have been doing boat parades in the city of Tampa, which now everybody is calling Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay, every time I hear the word Tampa Bay, it gives me douche chills. I mean, it's a little corny, it's a little douchey when you say Tampa Bay. But I'm going to get into something, but I want to play this news story before I do.
I guess it's fitting that a lightning storm ended up canceling the Stanley Cup Championship celebration.
Local news and newspapers, they love to be able to make a pun or include irony into their headlines. Like, they were like, oh my God, the Lightning, they just won the Stanley Cup playoffs. They just won the Stanley Cup final, and their parade got canceled by Lightning. Oh my God, this is going to be a great opening to my story, or this is going to be a great headline to my paper. You know what? Fuck you guys. Like, be a little bit more creative instead of just like, oh my God, the Lightning parade was canceled by Lightning.
Thousands were here at Julian B. Lane Park, and they enjoyed a hot, sunny day for hours and even had a great view of the boat parade as it went by.
Well, for one thing, poor planning. Like, I know that a lot of people have got things they got to do, but the people that are Lightning fans, and I'm not saying anything bad about Lightning fans at all, but they are going to take a sick day. I'm not saying they're being irresponsible and not going to work and all that good stuff, but they would take the day off. Why not start this parade early in the morning? It is poor planning on the city of Tampa, poor planning on the organization. Why not start this damn thing a little bit earlier? Because guess what? Florida is in its rainy season right now. Like, you could almost consider us a part of the jungle. Like, we are subtropical. During the wintertime, we do have our dry season where we don't get a lot of rain. We get a cold front that'll come through. It'll drop a little bit of rain. But during the summertime, once you get rain in the ground, by noon, 1 o'clock, I mean, it was raining early this morning here on the east coast of Florida. So what I'm trying to say is, why not get this thing out of the way early in the morning, get the parade done? I think that it is very, very creative that they do the boat parade and stuff. I would like to see some of the stats because some of the pictures I've seen, the bay, the Hillsborough River was absolutely packed with boats. And I know that they're kind of used to it with Gasparillas. The Gasparilla Parade, and if you don't know what the Gasparilla Parade is, it's where they recreate the invasion of pirates in the Bay of Tampa. So yeah, it does happen all the time, but man, people were drinking their asses off when it came to this parade. So I would like to kind of see what the arrests, boat accidents that they had, but just next time, let's get this bitch started a little bit earlier.
But just as the team was ready to take the stage at the celebration, a storm came through with heavy winds, heavy rain, and lightning. Some fans found cover, others were stuck in the middle of it. And while there were no speeches on the stage, the team still came out and held up the Stanley Cup in front of a soaked but ecstatic crowd.
You know, the Russians on our team, and I'm not saying anything bad about it, the Russians on the Lightning, they don't give a fuck. They really don't. They've already been hammering beers all day long. They are so beered up. I'm not accusing, but I'm sure a lot of those guys have had injuries, and they've been legally, because, like, I'm air quoting it, not saying they probably have been prescribed pain pills because they've gotten beat up for an entire NHL season. So I've been there, done that, drinking on pain pills, and I'll admit, it's a party. It is a party, but it also makes you, like, not give a fuck about anything, especially holding one of the biggest trophies that is made completely out of metal during a lightning storm in the state of Florida.
You couldn't ask for a better day. Like,
it was electric.
It was electric.
Oh, literally.
It was wet.
No lightning, no party.
Once again, this proves my point. The local news media, they go after the dumbest motherfuckers that you could ever find. They do. They go after the dumb-ass people. I will admit about these people, they did sound intelligent, but still stupid. Like, to make the pun of, oh, it's electric, or, oh, it was a great day, even though we were all wet. Yeah, I know what you're trying to go for, but man, oh man, does the news media, they go for the people that really don't add anything to the story. They just want to get the dumb, mouth-breathing cocksuckers that they can find.
They said it's going to rain down, and then we rained on the entire NHL.
I mean, more bravery on them. They were holding that cup up in a lightning storm. Like, the highest spot they could hold it. So it was awesome. We're glad to go back-to-back, and let's get a three-peat, all right?
With thousands of people in one place like that, I don't know, what is the best way to handle it, and did everything go the way you would hope?
Yes, everything went the way...
By the way, this is the mayor of Tampa, Jane Castor, who also used to be, I think, the Hillsborough sheriff of the area, but now she is the mayor, and she's got to be out there. She's got to get her photo ops and all that good stuff. She's also the same person that was kind of like, oh, maybe we should pull Vasilevsky and not play him at goalie just so we can win the cup at home. I think that was a very dumb take to have, but it ended up working out in her favor either way. So, you know what? Good on you, Jane Castor. Way to go and be out there for the photo op.
That, we expected, we knew that those storms were coming in, so we had everyone go up under the tents or get under shelter as quickly as they could. The problem was it was one wave after the other, so we couldn't wait until it went through and then have the ceremony.
So that's not even the biggest story when it comes to the Tampa Bay Lightning. And I would like to offer a big helping of fuck you to all the people that wanted to just chastise me on social media. Because Colton, my best friend Colton, sent me a picture that he had seen on social media of the Stanley Cup trophy being damaged. And the worst part of it, the worst part was damaged. The cup itself was basically caved in halfway on top of the cup. So I'm hearing rumors that it was actually the owner of the Lightning that was the one that did the damage. But everybody wanted to call me out and say, oh, that's just a replica. That's a replica. No, it has been proven that it is definitely not a replica, because I found this online, Stanley Cup Damage during Tampa Bay Lightning celebration today. It rained on Tampa Bay Lightning's parade today in more ways than one. Once again, another little pun to start out a news story. The Stanley Cup is in need of repairs, according to multiple reports, with the trophy being damaged during today's celebration in Tampa. For the second year in a row, the Lightning celebrated a championship with a boat parade, taking advantage of Tampa Bay geography for the occasion. beer and champagne flowed throughout, which was presumably a contributing factor to the cup receiving a big dent. A photo has surfaced showing Patrick Maroon holding the damaged trophy. Now, I think this was inside the Tampa Bay Convention Center where they have the MegaCon in Tampa. But Patrick Maroon, this is actually, I think he became just one of a couple of guys ever to win it 3 straight years in a row. He won it with the Blues, and then he won it back-to-back with the Tampa Bay Lightning, and he's the one holding it. I'm not saying Patrick Maroon was the one that damaged the cup. Ironically, the Stanley Cup will need to be sent to Montreal, and if you want to know why that's ironic, is that the Lightning beat the Montreal Canadiens to win the cup, where it will undergo repairs according to a report from Eduardo A. Encina of the Tampa Bay Times. The Lightning, of course, beat the Montreal Canadiens last week to capture their 3rd straight Stanley Cup this week to capture their 3rd Stanley Cup in franchise history. Now, Edward Encina wrote, the Stanley Cup did sustain some damage today during Tampa Bay Lightning's victory celebration. It will go to Montreal to be repaired, and the Go Bolts tour will begin as scheduled next weekend. That wasn't the only bit of irony to hit the Tampa Bay area. An actual lightning storm. See? God damn it. Why do you guys do this? Like, be a little bit more creative and stop saying, oh, lightning storm is what canceled the lightning parade. Go fuck yourself. That's what I'm trying to say. What exactly caused the damage to the cup isn't clear, though it has been a concern in the past. Philip Pritchard, the Stanley Cup pseudo-bodyguard, advised Washington Capitol players to stop doing keg stands on the trophy in 2018 due to the potential for damage. The cup has been beaten up before. In 1987, Mark Messier damaged it while partying at a nightclub after the Edmonton Oilers won the cup. After the Dallas Stars won the championship in 1999, I don't even know how to pronounce his last name, Carbonneau, tried to throw it off a deck into a pool but missed. Babies have pooped in the cup before. Dogs have eaten out of it. It was actually thrown into a bonfire by the Toronto Maple Leafs in 1962. I don't even know how the fuck that happened. The New York Rangers had to pee on it in 1940 to put out a fire they had started. Are you fucking... They pissed in the cup. And in 1924, the Montreal Canadiens left it on the side of the road. So, yes, the cup needs fixing, but it will be back. I'm just trying to figure out, I know every single time, because I have worked in I've worked on a lot of radio shows, worked in a lot of studios where big-time sporting events will bring a trophy in. Like the Daytona 500 trophy. You do realize, they get a replica. Because the trophy, the actual trophy of the Daytona 500 is really, really heavy. And they do actually lift the real trophy, but everybody's name is on it that it's ever won the Daytona 500. And the same thing goes with the Stanley Cup. Every team and every player's name is etched into the cup. So it's getting bigger and bigger every single year. I think the heaviest championship trophy in all the sports is actually the Indy 500 trophy, because they actually they'll take the person's face and actually put it on the cup with their name, and that thing is big as F when it comes to that. So I'm just trying to say, I hope this isn't going to turn into, and I got to do a little bit of research to kind of figure out what has there ever been a curse on any of these teams that have happened to damage the Stanley Cup. Because the Tampa Bay Lightning is going to have to pay for it. Because I was reading more and more, all the teams that have ever damaged the cup are responsible for the financial fixing of the Stanley Cup, one of the most famous trophies in all of sports. Gonna take a quick break. Be back in a few minutes. You are listening to the Tuttle Daily Podcast.
Great news, folks. You now have the chance to see the face in front of that sexy voice. Right you are, sir. The Tuttle Daily Podcast streams Monday to Friday on YouTube. Anything can happen at the Hobo Fish Camp. Okay, sir. That's enough. Okay. So go to youtube.com/Tuttle. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so you're notified anytime Tuttle goes live. Good job, sir. Questions? Comments? Concerns? Compliments? Or do you just want to tell Tuttle to fuck off? In any event, contact Tuttle. Tuttle@gmail.com. It's, Tuttle with 2 Ds, dumbass.
Welcome back to the Tuttle Daily Podcast. Like I said earlier, I'm not trying to be the Jim Rome show. Not trying to be like, welcome back, clones. We are talking NHL hockey. We're talking European Cup final between England and Italy. No, because I'm really not even talking about what happened on the ice. I'm not talking about what happened on the pitch. Talked a little bit about this yesterday, and I knew that there was going to be some issues because I really do think that, everybody wants to talk about the United States and how racist Americans are. I will say that Americans are racist. There are a lot of racist-ass Americans out there. But let's not rest on, ceremony here, because a lot of people in the United Kingdom, and I know that I got a lot of people that listen and support the Tuttle Daily Podcast in the United Kingdom, but I knew that this was going to happen. 3 of the players, so let me reset here. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I know a lot of you guys probably that are my American supporters do not give a fuck about soccer or football. I got to say soccer because when I say football, everybody thinks I'm talking about the NFL here in America, but that's not the case. The European final, Euro 2021, which was supposed to be Euro 2020, but was postponed because of the coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic. And the final was yesterday against Italy and England. Now, I am a big time soccer fan. I actually think penalty kicks are horrible. I think they should actually, after regulation, let those fuckers play until somebody scores. It should be like hockey. It should be sudden death. First person to score wins. Because penalty kicks are useless. It's not about skill. It's about luck. It's about guessing. It's about gambling. It is, because they've already proven that the amount of time it takes for your eye to register where the ball's going, because the ball's going way too fast, so the time it takes for your eyes to register, to send the information to your brain, and your brain to tell your body to go in what direction of the ball, it is impossible to do. It is not skill. It is nothing but a guessing game. Now, I blame a lot of this problem on the manager of the England team. Now, I got to admit, Gareth Southgate has done a tremendous job. He has done a lot better than some of the other England managers in the past. But for you to bring in 2 players that are young and have not played the whole entire match, I don't even understand how Marcus Rashford and Jadon Sancho is not on the pitch during the game itself. But, I'm also not a manager. I don't know what his, idea was on how to play the match. But they bring him in with a minute left in extra time. We're talking about 2 young players that are cool. So, now, the 3 players that missed penalty kicks were all African-American. Well, not African-American because they're not American. they are black players from Africa. Not from Africa, but African descent. See, I always got to double back and correct myself because of cancel culture. And when I saw that it was 3 African players or black players that ended up missing the kicks, I knew that there was going to be issues. And I was not wrong at all. A lot of people don't realize this. Marcus Rashford, well, as a matter of fact, 2 of the 3 players that missed, one, Jadon Sancho has not played for Manchester United, but he is going to be a Manchester United player. He missed. Marcus Rashford actually didn't even, make it towards the goal. That bitch bounced off the thing, but Marcus Rashford has done so much for his country. The kid grew up poor. The only time he ever really got fed and had a good meal was when he was going to school. And last year during the pandemic, Marcus Rashford was like his thing. He wanted to go out. He wanted to be able to make sure that a lot of the kids that weren't going to school were getting fed. And he worked his ass off to be able to get Boris Johnson in Parliament to be able to continue the school vouchers for students that they would still be able to get fed. And I think it is a brilliant thing, but these players have been called the N-word. They have been called monkeys. They have been called primates. They've had monkey emojis being sent to them. And this is just downright despicable because when the team was winning, you guys didn't have a problem when Raheem Sterling was scoring all the goals. You guys didn't want to give Harry Kane a stick about it. You really did not want to give him stick about it. See, I'm already getting things about the Stanley Cup, and all the people that want to tell me that was the real Stanley Cup. But you guys didn't want to give Harry Kane. Harry Kane did not get a touch in the box during that final. So why aren't you guys giving Harry Kane a hard time? But no, you guys want to give all the black players a lot of just bullshit racism. And you guys should be ashamed of yourself because all those players are in their low 20s. In England is going to be a tough team that nobody is going to want to play against in the World Cup next year.
It's so disappointing this morning anyway because of the result, but to have to talk about racial abuse for 3 young players who stood up to represent their nation, 3 lions, if you like. They really were so brave. And to have to talk about them being racially abused online. The Prime Minister has put words out there, but a lot of people this morning will be asking, what about action? When are the government going to get tough on racism on social media?
Like I said before, you guys had no problems with these players when they made it to the first final in England football history since 1966, I think. I think that was the last time that they won the World Cup. So you guys can all go fuck yourselves. You English fans that think that, that's the thing about it. That is why soccer, football gets a bad name because it is just I can't even say it's a few people because I cannot count how many racist ass tweets, post on Facebook, Instagram, whatever it may be, that was directed towards Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho, and this 17-year-old kid from Arsenal. I'm not a big Arsenal fan, so I really don't know much about him. But from what I hear, he's a really, really great player. Matter of fact, he must be good if he's playing for the 3 Lions. And I am a big supporter of the First Amendment. I really, really am. Here in the United States, it's not against the law to be racist. And I despise racism. I really, really do. They are just words. But when it comes to making threats and stuff, the way that some of these people have done, if you are going to go and deface a mural in the honor of Marcus Rashford and what he did to feed school children, do you think Marcus Rashford gave a fuck what the color of the kids that he was feeding? No, he didn't. He wanted to help out all the kids out there. You know what? And I would almost be willing to bet you that one of the kids that Marcus Rashford helped feed, that he was able to give food to, their parents might be, and I can't say for sure, but I would say that the odds are pretty good that one of the parents of one of the white kids that Marcus Rashford helped feed is responsible for sending out monkey and chimpanzee or primate tweets or emojis to some of the racist player or the racist comments to some of the players. Oh, bet your ass that happened.
Well, you're absolutely right, Sarah Jane. It was a hugely disappointing result, but what wasn't disappointing was the phenomenal performance our national team has put up throughout this tournament, cheering and bringing together our nation after a very tough year. And they are all, as the Prime Minister said, they are all heroes. They're a young side, and I know they'll be back even stronger than ever.
And if you are a real supporter of the England national team, and you're a supporter of the Three Lions, and you know somebody personally that sent out a racist-ass tweet or said something racist, because I'm telling you right now, even though I support America, I support the United States, even though they didn't even qualify for the last World Cup, so don't even get me started on that. But I'm telling you right now, I do not want any of these racist-ass pieces of shit that you have lost your right. If you send out a racist tweet or anything like that towards any of these young-ass players after losing the Euro and they win the World Cup, I don't think you should just be told to fuck off.
What really is disappointing, as you've said, is the appalling online racist abuse that we've seen members of that team suffer. There's no place for that in sport. There's no place for that in our country. And I think it's absolutely right that the Met Police have said they're investigating those posts and those possible offences that have been committed, and I very much hope they do so swiftly.
Like I said, I do not support racism at all, but, what are you going to do to them? Unless that they physically or send out tweets physically threatening any of the players on the England soccer team, what can you do to them? Because, like I said, let's be honest. Do I agree with what's been said? No, I don't. I absolutely oppose to it. But once again, I also am a big supporter of freedom of speech. And racism is, as long as you're not keeping somebody from their civil rights of being able to make a living or going about their day, there's really, really nothing you can really do about it. Should they be put on blast? Yes. They should absolutely be exposed for being the racist that they are. Own up to it. If you want to be a racist, own it. Wear that badge proudly and just own it. Let everybody know that you're a racist. Is it me? Should you be fired? Yeah, you should be fired from your job. Yes, you should absolutely be fired from your job if your job wants to do that. But at the same time, it is just words. Now, if you start threatening people, yeah, that is when you absolutely should be prosecuted and definitely do some jail time.
And as appropriate, take action against those who've put up these appalling tweets, these appalling social media messages. Those who've done this cannot claim to be true fans of the sport.
I mean, I could not have said it any better. It is the truth. We don't want to see you. Well, I'm not a part of England, so I can't say we. But what I'm trying to say is that I don't want to see your asses out there, you racist ass pieces of crap that want to send out the monkey tweets, monkey emojis, calling them the N-words, defacing Marcus Rashford's mural because he helped feed a lot of kids. No, you don't deserve to be able to celebrate when they make a great run when it comes to the World Cup next year when they play in Qatar. Now, for all the people that wanted to send me tweets or reply to any of my social media posts about that not being the Stanley Cup that was actually dented, it is the Stanley Cup. And please don't try to get technical, or don't try to get me on a technicality by saying, well, I mean, that's not the original Stanley Cup. Do you realize that all the players at least get 24 hours with the Stanley Cup? And let's not act like, I don't want anybody to think that I'm acting like the Lightning are the only ones that have ever damaged the cup, because there have been quite a few teams that have messed up the cup. Hell, the fucking Montreal Canadiens actually threw that shit in a bonfire one time. Babies have shit in the cup. I mean, the cup's been pissed in. So what I'm trying to say is, I'm not trying to, go against the Tampa Bay Lightning. I'm a big supporter of theirs. Hell, I hope they win the goddamn thing again. But don't come at me and tell me that I'm reporting false news, because I'm not. It's all over all the other other news stations, a lot of big name, verified Twitter accounts that cover the NHL are also reporting that the real Stanley Cup got damaged. So don't try to come at me sideways and act like I don't know what I'm talking about, because I've been doing this broadcasting thing for quite a while, and I don't go with things unless that I cover my own ass and I look at other media sources before I go with something. So yeah, you guys can all fuck off. The ones that want to come at me and say that I'm oh, Tuttle, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know a goddamn thing about hockey. No, I do know how to do research. And like I said, you guys can all suck my dick for the ones that think that I was just running with the story and not knowing what I'm talking about. So I'm going to take a quick break. Be back in a few seconds. You are listening to the Tuttle Daily Podcast.
Wish you could have just flown and had your vehicle arrive a day or two later so you can enjoy more time doing what's important to you? Well, you can. Just give Starfire Transport a call. Let the professionals do the driving while you're flying. Starfire Transport specializes in RV and auto transport. They'll also haul watercraft from boats to PWCs, cargo trailers, and more. Service available throughout the continental United States. So don't wait. Call Brian today at 574-349-4193 or 989-751-6106 for your next move. 10% off for veterans past or present. Also, make sure to tell them Tuttle sent you for an additional discount. That's Starfire Transport. Want to support the show? Go to paypal.me/Tuttle on the radio.
Welcome back to the Tuttle Daily Podcast. It's going to be a little bit of a shorter show today. My mom is finally having that surgery to be able to get that tumor removed on Wednesday. But tomorrow, because Wednesday morning, she has to be at the hospital at 5:30 in the morning to be able to get prepped for the surgery. I thought it would be much better to be able to be there the night before. So we got a room for Tuesday night in downtown Orlando at the Hampton Inn right near Orlando Regional Medical Center. So we're going to be there so we don't have that far to travel. And I'm really, really nervous about this, guys. It's something that has been on my mind, especially because I just lost my father. It's always a gamble when you get older to be able to be put under, to have a surgery like this, because this surgery is going to take 3 hours. There's a lot of major arteries and stuff in that area where the tumor needs to be removed. Now, I mean, I don't want you to think like it's all doom and gloom. I talked about this. They had the scan. The cancer has not like spread anywhere else. So it is localized, and they should be able to get every little bit of it out of there without having to go through radiation or chemo. Now, she most likely is going to have radiation, which is nothing compared to the chemo. I'm not saying that radiation is a walk in the park, because it really, really isn't. But she's really, really nervous about this. I feel bad because we got into a little bit of an argument today because she like made the comment about like I don't even know. I'm not even gonna get into it. We got into an argument, and it really, really sucks. And I was thinking about this. I was like, you know what? I'm not a religious person at all. Like, and I don't even consider myself an atheist. I do believe in a higher power. I don't know what it is. I just know that energy just does not go away. And that's what we are as human beings. We are energy. I don't know like what happens to us after we die, but I just did not want my mom going in to the surgery with her being mad at me or me being mad at her. I just did not want that. And I apologize, even though I don't think that I was in the wrong, because she really, really did say something that really upset me. And I've talked about this. I really, really do. And I know that I should not feel this way at all. I feel responsible that me falling asleep one night, and not reminding my dad to take his insulin. He woke up the next day and his blood sugar was like almost 800. And from that point forward was the deterioration of my father. And I feel responsible. I feel responsible that my dad is not still around. My mom got mad at me today because what she said to me was really, really rude. I said something to her, and I shouldn't have said this. I was like, I wish that I would have died in 2019 when I tried to commit suicide. Because I wouldn't have been around. I wouldn't have been around to see my dad die. I wouldn't be around to see my mom going through this stuff. And I don't want you guys to think that I'm ever going to do that. No, I'm never going to ever do anything stupid like I tried to do in 2019, and I shouldn't have said that to her. I really should not have. right before she's about to have the surgery, and I apologize profusely, and I don't know. I don't want you guys to see, because it would make me seem like a big fucking hypocrite to say I want your prayers, but if you could just keep my mom and my family in your mind, that would be greatly appreciated. If you're a religious person and you want to pray, go ahead. Go ahead and do that. But I just don't want to ask for that. I just would like you guys to keep my mom in your mind and stuff. Just positive thinking. Because I do feel bad about what I said. But she also said some pretty shitty things to me as well, too. But I think I have grown as a person. And I did apologize for it. So I don't mean to end the show on a bad note. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's show. Hope you guys are well. Hope you guys stay safe. And I will hopefully talk to you tomorrow. Bye.
And that's the show for today. Thanks for listening to the Tuttle Daily Podcast. Hey, don't be a dickhead. Do us a favor. Like, share, and subscribe to the show. Also, check out the Tuttle category at 315live.com. The Tuttle Daily Podcast is brought to you by Starfire Transport, StitchYouUp.com, and PocketPairClub.com. Special thanks to show producer Vulture and co-host Sirach. Show voiceover service is brought to you by JCVoiceover.com and The Little Cheese Show. Download and subscribe to The Little Cheese Show everywhere podcasts are found. If you want to help support the show, go to paypal.me/Tuttle on the radio. You have something you want to say? Tuttle@gmail.com or leave a voicemail at 407-270-3044. To follow all Tuttle social media, go to Tuttle.net. That's Tuttle with 2Ds.net. Thanks again for all your support, and we'll see you tomorrow on the Tuttle Daily Podcast.
I get ignorant in normal situations.
What you mean?
What the fuck you mean?
What are you talking about?
Nigga, what the fuck is you talking about?
Oh, shit.